we've created these little pockets of scarcity in our minds and in our social structures and in our relationships, and we bought into it. But that doesn't mean it's true.
I was taught growing up that in order to be successful in life, you had to try hard, you had to be faster, smarter, better.
You had to go to college, you had to get a degree in order to succeed in life.
Work hard, keep working.
You do what you're good at in life. Not necessarily what you like, but you do what you're good at and what you can tolerate.
Play the game, by the rules, and win.
I see so many people that are not enjoying this process. They're not living their life. Go to the mall, just look in their eyes. They're not home. They're not enjoying this process.
We're in adversity where we have to hoard.
Because you're coming from that survival brain. You're coming from a brain that's saying, it's me or them.
I was horrendously uncomfortable in the system I was in, but I had no idea how to get out of it.
Vacillate between saying something's wrong with me and something's wrong with this system.
If you live your life based on other people's standards and other people's judgments, you're setting yourself up for failure.
And I started searching for this abundance code. Even though people said you can't have it all, I decided that I wanted to be the exception.
When you live abundantly, you inspire others to live abundantly. There's no higher purpose you could possibly have in this world than inspiring someone else. And if you can inspire abundance in someone else, that has amazing ripples.
So if you can shift from me to how can I help, you'll find yourself in a new world.
Giving as much as we can, we will receive more than we ever thought humanly possible.
Great genius, great poetry, great music, great accomplishment in business and finances all emerge from that source of the recognition that we're part of a greater order in the universe.
Abundance is just a completely different world. It's simpler, easier, it's more elegant, and it's more fun.
There's no need to win. We won already. This is about us now going and actually creating the experience which makes life worth living.
Now, class, Alexander and Chloe here are not interested in today's lesson. They're more interested in why chickens cross roads. Now, class, it's very important for you to understand that you're not here for fun, you're here to learn. And if you follow the rules and learn well at school, then you'll succeed in life. Do we know what succeed means?
Means win, sir.
That's right. Now, Alex and Chloe are wasting the opportunity to learn anything. And that is why they will be failures. Do we know what failures are, class?
Why are we so captivated by abundance? I think it's because we're afraid that somehow we're on our own, that we're going to have to make do with what we've got, and that we're going to have to struggle through the journey of life by ourselves. We're interested in abundance because we want to know, are we loved? That's basically it. Are we loved? Does life love us? Does that which created us, whatever we want to call it, does it love us? Does it care?
The problem we have in society that success is measured either by fame or money. It really is. Who has the shiniest toys? Who has the most money in the bank account? And that to me is just an indicator of money and financial success. So success is so much deeper than that.
We have now an entire generation of victims because our entire media has used that as a way to be able to create desire and demand. What's your problem? Here's the problem. If you're not even sure this is your problem, believe me, it's your problem. This is why this is a problem. It's like, oh my gosh, I need that medicine. I need that, gym equipment. So what happens is people then end up in this fear, like if I don't have it, I'm going to remain broken because you told me I'm broken and I can see why. So now I'm broken.
We've created a world that's very fast-paced, and there are very high expectations of everyone, and we can't keep up. People aren't able to keep up, and so the response to that is dysfunction.
So the current system that's in place around the world is about competition, separation. But if it could be about cooperation, but we have to elevate the consciousness of the species.
From a very, very early age, we start to get messages about everything. Messages about who we are, messages about life, messages about love, messages about happiness, messages about abundance, and of course, messages about money.
I think this idea where people need to play by the rules and comes often out of our childhoods, where in our family system, it was the way to behave. And so we learned how to behave in that system, and it actually worked, and maybe it was the best choice we could possibly make. And as we get older, that way of behaving doesn't necessarily fit in the bigger world. And we have to really identify that and begin to drop those things off.
And so when we have formed a concept, and most of us have formed a concept of who we are and what life is about by the age of 10. And so we've literally got this 10-year-old running our life for us.
It's like, I remember my parents, when I was younger, we'd go to parties, right? I'd be 5 years old, 4 years old, 5 years old, and we'd play party games. And you know what it's like, you'd be there at the game and the music starts and everyone's dancing. It's like, how cool is this? Everyone's dancing. And so now you're dancing, then all of a sudden kind of like the music stops and so you're jumping in a chair and everyone gets in a chair and then you realize Johnny didn't get a chair. And now it's like, oh, and Johnny's been sent off the dance floor because there's no chair. And what happens is you see them take another chair away and you realize there's not enough chairs. And so now you're watching and you're actually getting close to the chairs just in case it stops and no one's even dancing properly anymore. And then the music stops and straight away there's jumping and and now there's Jane and I love Jane, but I'm gonna push her anyway because I need the chair. And now I'm in the chair and this keeps on going and they keep on taking the chairs away and we keep on fighting over the chair that's left. And it's a game and it's lack and it's in the point where you're 5 years old that you're actually getting taught this. And we then blame the education system, we blame, other things as to why we feel that lack, when in fact it's at the core of our being that even when it comes to actually playing, our parents are putting us in these situations where we're actually getting ingrained in our mind that there's a certain way we need to be able to survive on this planet.
So I was taught growing up that in order to be successful in life, you had to try hard, you had to be faster, smarter, better, that there was a lot of scarcity in the world, a lot of limitation, a lot of suffering, that you could be kicked out of your house, not have enough to eat, lose everything, if you weren't on top of it, if you didn't have a really good education, if you didn't work really, really hard.
I thought you weren't supposed to want money, you weren't supposed to care about money. And what's weird is, because I wasn't paying attention to money and because I was, trying not to have it, I spent almost all my time thinking about money because I didn't have it. I was afraid my car would break down or I wouldn't be able to eat or whatever it may be. And I really was, desperate at times.
And I started searching for this abundance code. What is it for me? And I realized that I wanted it all. Even though people said you can't have it all, you can't have a great relationship, you can't have great health, you can't have time freedom to enjoy the pleasures of life, just the pleasures of life, and you can't have a deep spiritual life and be abundant. I decided that I wanted to be the exception.
And finally, I just got so tired of that. I thought, for a person who's not supposed to be caring about money, I'm thinking about it way, way too much. I want to master money. I want to get to the place where money is just not an issue. I can do, because I had these values as a hippie, I can do things for other people. I can contribute to other people, and I won't have to just, I have to keep so much for me because I don't have enough.
We live in fear and scarcity about everything. Fear rules us when we're in scarcity. And it's a place where we feel like we're in constant competition, where we're in adversity, where we have to hoard.
So every thought that you have is motivated by fear, which means it's going to be greed, jealousy, envy, all of these different things, selfishness, because you're coming from that survival brain. You're coming from a brain that's saying, it's me or them.